Red Bull on the cut. Oh my god! What amazing races! Diesel Camera, your 2022 World Drivers Champion! Welcome to the German Grand Prix. Diesel Camera taking pole position from the table and Daniel Bogdanov. After a record company Rafael Ferrari and later driving solid in P7 with Garcia, there is Ahmed Silla, Carlson, Water and Devanda out around the top 10. After a Max Adelaide, Matthew Hart, Chaos Andale and Bugs Ricky starting your bottom half grid. There is Spike CB, Ultrabo, Chris Cornwell, Sebastian Ocampo, Wan Fong, Livery, and finally the final four being Van Horn, Ayago, Revo and Henry. So here we go now, not long left in the season, as we approach the final lights that go on your screens. And it's lights out, and away we go. Good start for David Serchiara on the launch. UK ball could have a look at a turn one, as Serchiara is unable to defend that inside line. Bogdanov could seek an opportunity if Serchiara does get ran wide here, but he doesn't, and that is obviously going to mean Serchiara is in second place, and he's got a way better exit. Silla has a 5-second penalty as Serchiara moves up in a first position. UK ball down in a second place as probably moves ahead of Bogdanov, who sends it on the inside at the hairpin. Players like now with the fourth. Bogdanov in his second place. That's really good there for Daniel Bogdanov in the Mercedes. Once again in a position in the top three, as through goes UK ball up into second place. Getting his position back as Headley picks up a 5-second time penalty. So yeah, it's been a good start for Serchiara, who keeps his lead, which he got from pole position there. Eduardo picking up a 5-second penalty in the Mercedes, down in 10th position. And he's stuck behind Matthew Hart, and he gets overtaken there by Versio in the Red Bull. Eduardo and Versio side by side in the first corner and through turn 2. There we go, sending it is Versio up into 8th position. As also Chaos Andale looked like he sent a big dive there actually as well. So he's had a good start this race as well on the lap 2. Alongside Matthew Hart, could get ahead to Benedetto here. And he will send it. He can't get the room though that he needed. And De Benedetto, he's going to look to get Versio. Versio cuts off. De Benedetto though is penalised for that. That's very weird, but despite that, he does move up into 7th. Ahead of Versio and Ferrari. As Ferrari once more moves ahead of De Benedetto as he tries to get Blaine Giacosolli, the championship leader, as he goes round the outside. BDS defends and he keeps his 6th position as he's looking to do some damage limitation once more, because UK will now raise the championship fight. Have to have 1-2 in the standings, I'm sure. As Serchiara is at the fastest lap in of this race, with UK will still not far behind. How Serchiara is clearly quicker at this stage in the race. Look further back towards P8, and that is De Benedetto, who is ahead of Ferrari. Versio wants to get ahead. He has more speed than Ferrari, he can do it, and he knows that. As he sends it on the inside, it is a double overtake for Versio. Chris Cornwell gets a corner cut warning. That's like an absolute final warning on his side of the garage. As Ferrari down into 9th position, and outside the top 10 is Carlos Eduardo. Ultra has made up a position recently, and it could be another position he makes up because he's alongside Taco Van Horn, and in towards the left-hander he might go for a move. Van Horn tries to cut him off, and he does do that successfully. Van Horn maintains 15th place. And yeah, I can imagine some ultra soft tyre runners will be wanting to pit soon because the tyres are starting to get worn. You can see with that visual wear on the tyres, they are starting to get worn and the grip is going to go down, so they'll be required to pit. Matthew Hart there in P13, using his car to the best of his ability, unable though to catch up to Cornwell, who had a much better exit to turn 3 than Hart did. So I'm just trying to think of the words. David Ricciardo leading the way. He's been unfazed this race. Ferrari picking up a 5-second time penalty. Demanded of Ferrari and Eduardo all have penalties, and they're in their own little pack fighting here. However, I can say this for sure, thus Theo is the head of that little pack, as he looks to try and catch Chaos and Delay, which is obviously proving to be a bit of a difficult task at the moment. Now teams are starting to wonder when should they be pitting their drivers. I imagine we're going to get the first pit stops in soon. Yes, we do. Into the pit lane comes Livery and Ravo. So Ravo's going to be moving on to a fresh set of tyres, and those tyres are the soft tyres. Livery comes in, should be ahead of Ravo on the exit, and he comes in also for softs. And yep, that is Livery ahead of Ravo as expected. They are going to be looking to go long, as it is a massive send for Marcus Adelaide into the hairpin, as he moves up ahead of Cornwell and Hart. But Cornwell fights this one. I'm sure the two might have actually tapped there. Somehow no damage on either car. I genuinely thought they tapped each other. But the Jaguar back ahead of the McLaren, successfully maintaining his position as the Benetton continues to fight Ferrari as much as possible, and looks like the Benetton may be coming into the pit lane. Looking at that line, and it's him and versus Theo in, but he has to slow down there. And now Crumply leads the way because Davy Ricciardo has pit, and New Cable also has pit as well. The other thing, Bogsar got the jump, so UK Cable must have been held up there in the pit lane. That is Daniel Bogsar there into 16th place. He is ahead of UK Cable, who must have had a disastrous pit stop there. But for Ricciardo, it's now going to be his job to just push as much as possible on this outlap. Meanwhile, Lamfong, Ultra fighting. They were side by side, and they still are. Through the right hander, Lamfong, all he needs to do is just stick it on the inside. Matthew Hart gets a 5-second penalty. Lamfong making contact there with Ultra. It is wheel bumping action. Lamfong trying to push Ultra to the side of the track. It's not working out. Ultra obviously, well, he does give in a little bit. That's because he has to. There's no space otherwise, and Ultra looks to maintain this position successfully as BMW Williams tried his best, but he couldn't get through, and that is going to be Lamfong actually coming to a halt there temporarily. And Ultra there coming into his pit box. David Ricciardo moves up in a 5th position. 4 more people ahead still need to pit in, which is BDS, Ferrari, Hart and Fanucci. Still yet to pit as Lamfong comes in, and a little bit of karma coming in on his end as he has some issues in his pit stop. And that is Chaos Adelaide looking to try and catch Taco Van Horn now. He's using his active aero, he's using Slipstream, and he's doing that to try and close in the gap to the Toro Rosso, but him being on the Ultra Soft is going to be a lot more beneficial for him. So yeah, for now, Adelaide is going to be slower. The Beto just picked up a corner cut warning. You have to be careful, otherwise you'll be seeing himself with a 5-second time penalty. Chris Cornwell there overtakes Ravo with a lovely move on the Ferrari. As he sees that McLaren right there, Ravo's gonna be fighting this one back down on the inside. Daniel Boxaris is the fastest lap of this race as he aims to close in on Davy Ricciardo. Van Horn takes that fastest lap away. As into the pit lane comes Ferrari. He is leaving his pit box now. He's on a fresh set of ultra soft tyres. Carlos Salvador set the fastest sector 3 of anyone, as he's going to be now aiming to get the fastest lap of this race. It's going to be a difficult task though with Adelaide right behind him. And using the active aero, Adelaide is going to fly down this straight and he's going to overtake the Mercedes without any issues at all. And there's Marcus Adelaide in 50th place, Ultra picking up a corner cut warning. So many drivers are getting that, and it's mostly the hairpin where it's happening. And for Donado, he's just not really had that good of a race. Of course, he's already won that one race, and now he's just struggling again. But for Bogdassarov, he can now seek an opportunity once again to win a race. course, we all know what happened last time when he was in a good place to win back in Hungary. Obviously, solid position to win the race or even get a podium, but none of that happened due to a strategy blunder by Mercedes. Have Mercedes fixed their issues? And if they have, is it a good strategy that they've got now? Will it be used in good execution? That's what they're going to aim to find out as Adelaide gets a corner cut warning. Sorry, a penalty, that's what I meant. So that's going to go on to his time at his next pit stop or the end of the race. Adelaide also gets the same fate there. Ultra alongside Sebastian Ocampo. Both these guys are world champions and now they're battling it out for P19 here in Germany. May not seem like much, but it is still a good battle nonetheless, as Ocampo forced off of the track there by Ultra as he drops to Ferrari in the Atlas Ford. And I don't think Ocampo will be too happy about that one. He's lost another place. He lost 2 places because of him being forced off the track. Obviously losing the place to Ultra and now Ferrari, who he's having to fight for position for. There are no changes out in front, which is a bit disappointing. Ferrari getting close to Ultra now. Ocampo though, stopping that attack Ferrari's doing because he's went on the inside. He's overtook Ferrari, who's going to try and fight back, and he does, without any contest at all. He's straight back up into 18th place, and Chris Cornwell has just got himself a 5-second time penalty. Once again, it's corner cutting, which is the reason. So yeah, lap 10, and things are getting intense now between these drivers. Versio and Hart fighting for 22nd, as Versio falls back down at 23rd, tackling Van Horn on fresh tyres. Same thing for Versio. A bit embarrassing for Versio that he couldn't get ahead of Matthew Hart, as we now have 6 more laps to go in this race, and Bogdasarov has fell away as Serkiera begins to extend his lead out in front. But yeah, look at that, the top 4 just in a league of their own here today. Amazing to see that as Headley comes into the pits for the 2nd time today. This should be his last stop in the race, as long as he doesn't go on to Ultrasofts. If he does, his race may be ruined. And what did I say? What did I say, Audi? As long as he doesn't go on to Ultrasofts, he's fine. But no, what do? They put him onto Ultrasofts. Yeah, the Audi strategists really need a knock in their head, because they're getting things very much wrong here. As Blade Rascal goes on the inside here of Chaos and Delay, he moves up there into 5th, but that's short-lived. Oh, never mind, the time tower just didn't take, I mean, it took forever to update that. Anyways, Andalay back into the pit lane, and Ocampo onto his 2nd warning for track limits now, and Wano come around the final corner, as he now faces threat from Hux Finucci in the HSBC Jaguar, as into turn 1, Finucci forcing Wano as wide as possible, as he's going to send it on the Brazilian driver. It's Brazil versus Brazil here for 9th place in this Grand Prix, as Adelaide is just going to see this fight happen behind, and he knows he will be a passenger because he's got nothing he can do. His tyres are slower, so he's pretty much cooked. Finucci and Wano, once they sort themselves out, will be right on Adelaide. They already are on Adelaide. So that McLaren's not going to be able to defend this position, really. He'll try, as he's just weaving across the circuit, trying to slow Finucci down. But this is now going to allow Wano to possibly have an attack, if he's quick enough. And you came all into the pits for the 2nd time today. So he's making a late pit stop onto the Ultrasoft tyres, probably the best tyre to go onto late race. Only issue for him is traffic behind. That's going to be a very big issue, as Adelaide and Finucci stay out, and Wano, they come in, and Wano stays out onto the track. UK Ball will leave the pit lane there in P13. He is stuck behind that massive pack as Versio picks himself up a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision, so he's obviously made contact with a Red Bull, with one of the Toro Rossos or a Ford car. One of them. As Ultra seeks himself up there in 8th position. You came all out right on the back of these guys. If he wants to get something good out of today's race, he needs to get past these guys ASAP. Now Van Horn looking to try and defend this one. Never mind, he's going straight for the attack on Iago. First year picks up another penalty, and UK will move up there into 13th place into the pit lane. Comes Daniel Bogdasarov and Davey Sakiera. Later Sonic as well. Ahmed Silver and Rack and Crumbly both stay out on track as their tyres begin to get really worn. So for them guys, they're going to be in a bit of a struggle right now. UK Ball P12 just trying to get through, but that is a very difficult task there, as it is danger on the exit there for Bogdasarov, who is struggling. David Sakiera has got the gap he needed. He has cleared all them guys. UK Ball's chances of winning have completely disappeared with that pit stop. Well, the outlap, sorry. If he had clean air, he would have easily been ahead of Sakiera. But he is not ahead of Sakiera now, because he's been held up by all these guys, so that's going to be infuriating for him. But for these top guys, Rack and Crumbly, Ahmed Silla, Carlos Eduardo, are they going to go in the pits? Now, Crumbly stays out. He'll probably stay out to the end. Ahmed Silla stays out as well, as expected. I mean, they've already got a big gap anyway, so Apex could be on for another win, and Rack and Crumbly could also be back for a victory for the first time in quite some time. It's been years since his first victory, in fact. Well, Blizzard's like down there in 8th as he's going to move straight up into 7th, no 6th actually. Bogdasarov got held up in that pack actually, so he should move up into 7th here as he closes his front and rear wing. Ultra will fight as hard as he can, but his tyres are cooked. Nothing he can do. Fanucci sets fast lap. Lamfong bring the time down into the 58s of that incredible lap time there. BDS goes on the inside of UK Ball, trying to minimise the damage in the championship, because that seems to get up there in 3rd, and BDS can't get ahead of UK Ball. He'll try his best, but he can't do it. Carlos Eduardo, on the other hand, is here in P4 in this race. UK Ball will have a good chance to get ahead of him. Same thing for Blade Sonic. Eduardo's tyres are gone. Lap 16, Crumbly leads the way. He's been on his soft tyres for 9 laps now. And it'll be 10 by the end of the race, but them tyres will make it to the end. Ahmed Silla's tyres will also make it to the end. For him, he'll just be trying to bring this car home in 2nd place. For Davey Sakiera, he'll be just trying to get into 2nd place. As UK Ball is going to try and go for a move on Blade Sonic. He's got a lot more speed down this straight. The two hyperdrives are side by side here. They are 4th and 5th, and BS sends it with an incredible move on the inside line. UK Ball will try and fight it back, but I don't think he'll be able to. He's going to still try. It's going to be a move around the outside. BDS hold him off. And here we go. Coming round the final corner. It's going to be a 3rd win for Apex this season. Matthew Hart did not win last time, but this time it's Rack and Crumbly who wins. And Ahmed Silla will come home for 2nd place for Opel DP World from David Sakiera, who set the fastest lap by a long shot. Later Sonic is going to come home for 4th place, as there has been a crash somewhere. Ferrari and Matthew Hart both out of this race, and one will cross the line in 7th. So Mercedes finished 7th and 6th in today's race. Verstappen's going to finish 8th, but that's not going to be his final position, because he has that 10-second time penalty. There's so many places he is going to lose. So the man that will get across the line there for P13 also will be his final position. That's so many people. There were so many people there, I couldn't even tell what was going on. There's Rack and Crumbly, your winner today for Apex GP. Niles Crumbly had won 2 races. He came back, and 2 races later, sorry, 3 races later, he's already got himself his first win of the season. Apex looking real strong right now, and Ahmed Silla P2 showing that Opel are also strong, especially after his win last time out. And additionally, David Sakiera gets 3rd place, and he brings the championship gap to Blade Sonic down. UK will also lose points as well to BDS, as BDS had finished ahead of him. Of course, it was a great last lap battle between the two, but with that, we're done. Let's listen to the Hungarian national anthem. podium, Trumpy, Silver, and Circular. But after that was BDS, UK, Vol, Montserrat, Eduardo, Ultros, Spiker, Andalay, Van Horn, Versio, Iago, Livery, Headley, Cornwell, Adelaide, Ocampo, Fong, De Benedetto, Finucci, and Ravo, Matthew Hart and Ferrari retiring in under an instant on the final lap of the race. And with that, we're done in Germany. Not long to go in the season now, and I can't wait to see you next time when the APX F1 series returns.